She texted, "Can't make it tonight, something came up." For the 6th time this month, I replied, "No problem at all." Then I used Find My iPhone to see where something actually was, her ex's apartment complex. The flowers I had delivered there with the breakup card attached made her panic. Original post: I, 35 male, had been with Jessica, 33, for about 18 months. Not married, but we'd been talking about moving in together. She had her place, I had mine, seemed like the natural next step. Until last month when the cancellations started. First time, "Sorry babe, work emergency, rain check." Second time, "Mom's not feeling well, need to check on her." Third time, "Migraine came out of nowhere." Fourth, fifth, and tonight, the 6th time this month. "Can't make it tonight, something came up." Each time I'd reply with some variation of, "No problem, feel better," or "Hope everything's okay." But tonight, sitting alone at the restaurant I'd booked for our anniversary dinner, staring at her latest cancellation text, something just clicked. Jessica and I shared locations on our phones. Started when she went on a work trip last year and wanted me to know she landed safely. Never turned it off, guess she forgot about that little detail. I opened Find My iPhone. There she was. Not at work, not at her mom's, not at home nursing a migraine. She was at Riverside Apartments. I knew that complex. Her ex, Brandon, lived there. The ex she swore she had zero contact with. The ex who meant nothing to her anymore. I sat there for a good 5 minutes, watching that little dot stay perfectly still at his building. The waiter asked if I was ready to order. "Yeah," I said. "Just the check for the wine, please." On my way home, I passed a flower shop that was still open. Had an idea. One of those ideas that comes fully formed, like my brain had been working on it without telling me. "I need a bouquet delivered tonight," I told the florist. "To Riverside Apartments. Tonight." "That's rush delivery." "It'll be extra." "That's fine." "And I need a card attached. A specific message. Update 1. The flower shop was curious about the late-night delivery, but hey, money talks. Told them to deliver to the main office of Riverside Apartments with instructions to call Brandon Tillman's unit for pickup. The bouquet. 2 dozen red roses. The card. "Jessica, since you keep having something come up, I figured I'd save you the trouble of making excuses. We're done. Enjoy your evening with Brandon. P.S. Your location sharing is still on. Might want to fix that. Grant." The florist raised an eyebrow but wrote it down exactly as I said. Paid extra for delivery confirmation and a photo of recipient. Then I went home and did something I should have done weeks ago. I started connecting dots. Her phone was always face down lately. She'd been working late a lot but her paychecks hadn't shown any overtime. She'd mentioned that casually, complaining about her boss. She'd been weird about making plans, always wanting to play it by ear. My phone exploded about 40 minutes later. "Jessica calling. Declined. Jessica calling. Declined. Jessica calling. Declined. Text. Grant, please answer. Text. It's not what you think. Text. The flowers were delivered to the wrong place. Text. I'm at my mom's. Please just let me explain. I turned off read receipts and went to bed. Well, tried to. Mostly laid there thinking about how I'd been planning to ask her to move in next month. Had already been looking at bigger places. Thank God for Find My iPhone, I guess. Next morning, checked her location. She was at her apartment. Then I checked Brandon's Instagram. We weren't friends, but his profile was public. News story posted at 2 a.m. A photo of red roses in a vase. No caption, just a thinking emoji. The balls on this guy. Jessica showed up at my apartment around 10 a.m. I watched through the doorbell camera as she stood there for 20 minutes, knocking periodically, calling my name. Her eyes were red, makeup smeared. She'd clearly been up all night. "Grant, I know you're in there. Your car's here. Please just give me 5 minutes." I stayed quiet. Eventually she left. Then the texts from her friends started. "Megan, what did you do to Jessica? She's hysterical. Seriously. Flowers with a breakup note. That's cold. Vanessa, Jessica made a mistake, but she loves you. Don't throw away something good over a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding. That's what they were calling it. I replied to Vanessa since she was the most reasonable of the bunch. Misunderstanding. She was at her ex's apartment when she was supposed to be our anniversary dinner. Her location showed her there for 3 hours. What exactly am I misunderstanding? Vanessa. She was just talking to him. He's been going through stuff. Me. Ah, yes, the kind of talking that requires canceling 6 dates in a month. Got it. She didn't reply. Update 2. Jessica ramped up her efforts. Started showing up at my work. Security wouldn't let her in. Badge required. But she waited in the lobby. For 4 hours. My coworkers were eating this up. Watching through the glass doors as she sat there with coffee and puffy eyes. Dude, just talk to her. My colleague Rob said. She looks destroyed. She looked pretty comfortable at Brandon's place 2 nights ago. Maybe there's an explanation. Rob, what explanation makes this okay? Please, I'm dying to hear it. He didn't have one. Finally went down at lunch, mainly because my boss was starting to give me looks about the distraction in our lobby. Jessica jumped up when she saw me. Grant. Thank God. Please just listen. You have 2 minutes. And we're talking right here, in public. She glanced around at the people pretending not to watch. Can we at least go outside? 1 minute 50 seconds. Okay. Okay. Brandon texted me last month. His dad died. He was struggling. Needed someone to talk to. So talk on the phone. He was really messed up, Grant. Drinking. Talking about doing something stupid. So call 911. Call his mom. Call literally anyone except the girlfriend who swore she had no contact with him. I was trying to help. By canceling 6 dates. By lying about where you were. By sneaking around. I knew you'd react like this. I actually laughed. You knew I'd react badly to you lying and sneaking around with your ex. So you lied and snuck around with your ex. Brilliant logic, Jess. It wasn't like that. Nothing happened. Your location was at his apartment for 3 hours. On our anniversary. We were just talking. Here's the thing. I don't care if you were talking, playing Scrabble, or conducting a seance to speak to his dead father. You lied. 6 times minimum. You chose him over us. Over and over. We're done. Grant, please. Time's up. I walked back inside. She stood there for another hour before security asked her to leave. That evening, Brandon called me. The audacity of this man. Bro, you need to chill, he started. Bro. We're not brothers. You're the guy sneaking around with my girlfriend. Ex-girlfriend, he corrected. And I wasn't sneaking. Jessica was being a good friend. A good friend who lies to her boyfriend to hang out with her ex. You got an interesting definition of friendship. Look, man. Jessica and I have history. Sometimes people need closure. Closure takes 6 secret meetings. What are you closing? A mortgage. You're being a dick. She chose you, didn't she? No, Brandon. She chose you. 6 times this month. I just made it official. Whatever, man. Your loss. Funny thing about that, I can see her location right now. Guess where she is? Silence. That's right. Your apartment. Again. Tell me more about how she chose me. He hung up. Update 3. The entitlement escalated dramatically over the next few days. Jessica's mom, Diane, called me. Now I'd always liked Diane. Thought she was reasonable. I was wrong. Grant, sweetheart, Jessica explained everything. This is all a big misunderstanding. Diane, I respect you, but there's no misunderstanding. She lied multiple times. She was trying to help that boy. You know Jessica has a big heart. She has such a big heart she forgot about our anniversary to comfort her ex. People make mistakes. You're going to throw away your whole future over this. What future? One where she runs to Brandon every time he has a problem. Where I'm wondering if something came up means she's with him. That future. You're being cruel. That stunt with the flowers was humiliating. Humiliating was sitting alone at an anniversary dinner while she was at another man's apartment. He's going through a loss. His father died 5 years ago, Diane. I googled the obituary, so either Brandon's lying to Jessica or Jessica's lying to you. Long pause. That can't be right. Joseph Tillman died August 2019. Look it up yourself. She hung up. Guess she looked it up. Then came the financial entitlement. See, Jessica and I had been planning a vacation. Cabo next month. I'd paid for the whole thing. Flights, hotel, excursions. About $300 to $800 total. She was supposed to pay me back her half, but things were tight and I'd said no rush. Text from Jessica. I know we're not together, but that vacation is non-refundable. We should still go. As friends. As friends. The nerve. Me. Already changed the reservation to a single occupancy. Thanks for reminding me to cancel your ticket. You can't do that. I was going to pay you back. When? After your next secret meeting with Brandon. That's my vacation too. I need this trip. Me. Then book your own. Cabo's not going anywhere. I can't afford it right now. Sounds like a you problem. She sent 18 more texts about how I was stealing her vacation. Didn't respond to any of them. But here's where it gets good. Her friend Megan decided to start a rumor that I'd been controlling and abusive. And that's why Jessica had to seek comfort elsewhere. She posted some vague nonsense on social media about supporting friends leaving toxic relationships with Jessica's crying emoji reaction. So I did something petty. Maybe too petty. But I was done with the high road. I posted the screenshot. The Find My iPhone map showing Jessica at Brandon's apartment. Timestamp clearly showing our anniversary dinner time. Caption. When you think she's at work, but Find My helps you find out where she really is. PSA. If you're gonna cheat, turn off location sharing. The comments exploded. Mutual friends who'd been getting Jessica's version suddenly had questions. Lots of questions. Wait. She said she was at her mom's that night. Brandon. The ex-Brandon. Didn't his dad die years ago? Jessica called me screaming. You posted our private business. You made it public when your friends started calling me abusive. Take it down. Turn off your location sharing first. Oh wait. You finally did. Only took you 3 days to figure that out. You're ruining my reputation. No, Jessica. You ruined your reputation. I just provided receipts. Update 4. The next morning, woke up to find my car teed. Deep scratch from front to back on the driver's side. Checked my security cam. Hooded figure. But I recognized those Nike sneakers. The hot pink ones I'd bought Jessica for her birthday. Filed a police report. Showed them the footage. They said without seeing her face clearly, it would be hard to prove that they'd look into it. Then, Jessica made her biggest mistake. She texted me. Hope you like your car's new paint job. That's what you get for humiliating me. Screenshot. Sent to the police. Sent to my insurance. Sent to my lawyer friend who said keep that. Trust me. The estimate for repairs came back at $2,400. My insurance would cover it. But I'd need to pay the deductible. So I did what any reasonable person would do. I small claims court paperwork. But first, one more thing happened. Brandon showed up at my apartment. Not Jessica. Brandon. We need to talk, he said, trying to sound intimidating. We really don't. You're harassing Jessica. I haven't contacted her once since she admitted to keying my car. She's fragile right now. Fragile. She did $2,000 in damage to my car. You posted about her online. After her friends called me abusive. It's called defending myself. Look, just leave her alone and we'll leave you alone. We. Oh, so you're a we now. That's interesting. Tell me more about how nothing happened between you two. His face went red. We're together now, yeah. So what? You broke up with her. And there it is. The truth finally. How long were you two really talking before I found out? Doesn't matter now. It does for the small claims court case. Emotional distress, you know. Finding out my girlfriend was cheating, not just lying. You can't prove anything. I held up my phone, recording. I can now. Thanks for confirming you're together. How long, Brandon? When did it actually start? He realized his mistake. You're recording me. It's a one-party consent state. Completely legal. So how long? How long? He turned and left without another word. Jessica texted an hour later. You recorded Brandon without consent. That's illegal. I'm calling the cops. Me. One-party consent state. Google it. See you in court. Court. Me. Small claims. Car damage plus emotional distress. Your boyfriend just admitted to the affair on camera. My lawyer says I have a solid case. Radio silence after that. Update 5. Final. The small claims court date came up 2 weeks later. Jessica showed up with Brandon. Big mistake bringing him. The judge did not like that. I presented the security footage of someone in her distinctive shoes keying my car. Her text admitting to it. The estimate for repairs. Screenshot of her location at Brandon's during her anniversary. The recording of Brandon admitting they were together now. Text records showing the pattern of cancellations and lies. Jessica tried to argue I'd emotionally abused her by posting her location online. The judge asked, did you lie about your whereabouts? It was complicated. Yes or no? Were you at this man's apartment when you told the plaintiff you were elsewhere? Yes. But. And did you damage his vehicle? I was emotional. That's a yes. Judgment for the plaintiff. $20,400 for vehicle damage. $600 for court costs and time off work. Jessica started crying. Brandon stood up. This is bullsh. Sir, sit down or be removed. The judge warned. She can't afford that. Then she shouldn't have damaged property. Outside the courthouse, Jessica approached me one last time. Grant, please. I can't pay this. Payment plan's an option. I'm sorry, okay. I'm sorry for everything. I loved you. No, Jessica. You loved having me as a safety net while you figured things out with Brandon. That's not true. Your location that night wasn't the first time you were there, was it? She looked at the ground. Yeah, that's what I thought. Brandon stepped forward. Dude, you won. Just let it go. I am letting it go. As soon as she pays what the court ordered. We're going to appeal. My lawyer friend, who'd come for moral support, laughed. On what grounds? She admitted to the damage in writing. They left. Jessica paid the first installment a month later. $200 a month for the next 15 months. Last I heard through mutual friends. Jessica and Brandon moved in together after 2 months. She caught him texting his other ex 3 weeks later. They're still together, but working through trust issues. The irony is delicious. She tells people I was emotionally abusive and controlling. Most people who know the whole story don't buy it. Me. I got my car fixed. Went to Cabo solo. Had an amazing time, actually. Met some cool people. Did all the excursions I wanted without compromise. Started dating again after a few months. New woman I'm seeing thinks the flower delivery breakup was iconic. Her words. She also appreciated that I handled everything through proper legal channels instead of doing anything crazy. Lessons learned. 1. Trust your gut when patterns change. 2. Location sharing works both ways. 3. Document everything. 4. Sometimes the best revenge is just letting someone live with their choices. 5. Always get it in writing when someone admits to property damage. Oh, and Jessica still has 8 payments left. Every month when that money hits my account, I think about how she could have just been honest. Could have just broken up with me like an adult. Could have not teed my car. But hey. Something came up, right? The funniest part? I still get notifications sometimes. Jessica's payment of $200 has been received. Brandon's probably paying it. The ex she ran to now has to pay for the damage she did over him. Poetic justice? Maybe. Expensive lesson for her? Definitely. Worth it to find out who she really was before we moved in together? Absolutely. Sometimes the bullet dodges you. You just have to be smart enough to stay out of its way.